Ou deixa sua bunda ardendo, ou dá tapa, 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 cara.
Welcome to Empowerment Unleashed Now, exploring your inner authority. I'm Michelle Jones.
And I'm Scott Collins.
And this is the place to connect with your highest, most essential self, your most empowered self, where you can explore your inner authority and learn from others and learn more about yourself.
We talk with fascinating people from all walks of life about transformation, healing, hypnosis, astrology, physical experience of being human, and heart-centered living.
We're so thankful that you're here with us. Let's dive right on in. Hi, and welcome to Empowerment Unleashed Now. I'm me. I'm Michelle. I'm here with you. Who are you?
I'm you. I'm not and me.
Oh, God. I can't do this. So this is episode 33. Deep breath. I am calling it, Are We Having Any Fun? I have this song stuck in my head. And seriously, Noah, please help us. You're going to have to drop this link because this song is going to make you not have any fun. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's from I didn't even know that people made music that sounds like this. And it just showed up in my head one day. So it was a great question to ask me during Gemini season. I would say that part of me is having a fucking blast. And the other part of me is fucking exhausted. And I think that the collective consciousness is kind of there without the fun.
It's like the gravitron when you're pegged up against the edge while the wheel's spinning, it sounds like.
Oh my God. It's just this tested so for listeners, where is your Gemini placement, right? So I am a Gemini rising and I have Mercury, which is at home in Gemini. It's the ruling planet. It's not very big. Many people always want to say how small Mercury is, but it's very quick and it gets a lot of shit done. And I have gotten everything from having, let's be real. I didn't undo the paint that the painters shut my windows when they painted the house shut. I didn't undo those, but that was done in this season. I accomplished some major electrical feats with help, just nitpicking annoying shit that I finally had the headspace to just be okay, let me just get this off the list. I have to get this done. And then you look up, and I'm just going to tell you, the collective consciousness out there, the Empower Ranger Surf Report, what the hey?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're recording this today on a day where a couple planets are at the tested aneretic 29 degree, right? Jupiter at 29 Gemini and Venus at 29 Aries. So it does beg the question, how does a master manage tested situations when you're at the tested degree, when you're being tested? And that's, all of us have our Achilles spots, our vulnerabilities.
Are you asking me as a master to not?
I mean, I'm asking that rhetorically a little, but also directly, asking me, because I'm me, you're you, vice versa.
So that line again.
Yeah. How do we do that? How do we handle the tested degrees, the tested experiences?
How I would advise people to kind of enter a space of neutrality when one feels most tested as quickly as possible. But
Mm-hmm.
you got to kind of rummage through the junk sometimes. Like, let's be real, right? Like, we have emotions and we have feelings, and those help us to like check in so we know what our vibe is. So we know what's kind of going on. Like, our feeling tells us about like our frequency, like what we're dialed into.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that when you're kind of mastering the experience during Gemini of being super heady and realizing that you have a dumbass and a smartass that just is the mind, okay? Like, as a Gemini, I thought those were two separate things. And the other day somebody said to me, no, 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 just make it one thing. And I was like, oh my God, you just decreased my workload by 33%. And so, like, if you can look at the work and laugh at it simultaneously, almost like a Buddha. Like, okay, yeah, there's this whole big pile of life, but okay, I'm going to just dig in.
Yeah.
Like, the pile of life has to like happen if you want to ascend. If you want to master something, right? You have to like take the leap sometimes. But I feel like if your heart is having fun, oh my God, this song, did you listen to it? Are we having any fun? Are you
A
having it?
little bit.
Like, what? Like,
Yeah.
what was this from? Like the 1920s or something?
Yeah.
And I was like, why is this annoying me so much? Because I
Yeah.
wasn't in neutrality.
Right. Triggered some emotional charge and response. And I do feel like
I was pissed I wasn't
where
having fun.
yeah, the dichotomy of the mind can get involved because usually in those tested degrees and tested experiences, it's an emotional flooding. It's when we're flooded emotionally.
Yeah,
and then we try to
totally.
start rationalizing that with our mind or trying to like think our way out of it, or instead of first sitting in the flood of emotion.
Totally.
And sometimes like that's, I mean, like you said, holding space, like until we get neutral. Sometimes we just have to walk away from the environment that is causing the flood.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's nothing we can do other than the mind could be an accomplice in that. Like helping us just exit a situation until we can get neutral again. Because once the flood hits, once the floodgates are down, then it takes a minute to settle. I mean, like true masters maybe can gain neutrality right away. And that is the skill. I mean, that's the tested degree. The quickly you can do that, the better you're going to probably feel.
Well, I mean, like, what did I say to you? Like, initially, when we were supposed to start recording, I was like, there's no way I can. Like, there's just too many things that are going on. Like, there's just too many, like, obligations, priorities. Like, I have to make a couple of big decisions, like, in the next little while to support people. And I was like, no, I can't do this. And I was charged because I was feeling like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Am I really doing all that can be done? You know, just the whatever goes on. And when I was able to take that and dial that back into a neutral place of, okay, does appear that I'm doing what I can do right now. And I started to process it and actually spoke about it. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, you know what? Let's just chit chat for like a few minutes and check in and like see how all of this is going, because I was able to get to neutrality. The quicker you get to neutrality, the quicker you're going to get to the side of your life that actually, I would say, is the most creative part, because it's probably the most present part, as opposed to being charged to something that happened back there. Because like what I'm doing right now doesn't involve those couple of things that I'm really knowing that I still have to deal with. So you can hold two things at once, right? That's what Geminis are really good at. And so you can really hold this deep, oh my gosh, like these are things that only happen like once every 15 years, like in people that I support. And then you can be like, are we having any fun? Like, and make it like silly.
Yeah.
Because you have to.
Right.
Have
That's
to
the magician's touch. Yeah. To like try to frame it in a way that makes your nervous system and your emotional field experience it differently.
So I'm going to tell you a story that to me is mastery of like emotion and bringing it to neutrality or even to just a different place. It's a little bit of a macabre story, but it gets funny. So my mom died on a Sunday in New York on Long Island in Suffolk County. And apparently there was only one coroner for like 4 million people, 2 counties, a couple million people each county. Takes a long time for a coroner to come if there's only one, 4 million people. Finally, the coroner gets there. The funeral home gets there because my mom had died. And my dad has this very odd thing that he says to the funeral director. And he said, listen, this is my daughter's mortarboard. Okay. Like, and that's like your cap, from graduation. My mom's goal was to live to see me graduate, and she did. And so my dad says to the funeral director and to the coroner, because he wants to make sure that the coroner hears this also, he goes, this is to go into my wife's casket with her, not on her. He goes, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I don't want people thinking that her last wish was to finally get her GED. I look at my dad and I said, that's what you get out of this moment? He goes, it would be weird as hell to go and see her with a mortarboard on her head. Okay, so the coroner and the funeral director are looking at us because we're actually starting to laugh what's wrong with these people? And when they leave, Dad and I go into the back of the house. There's tons of people at the house. Like my grandparents were there, my aunt, my uncles, the housekeepers there, friends are there. It's a house filled with people at this point. And my dad just, needed to unwind for a second. And so I followed him to the back of the house and he went into his bedroom where, they had just taken my mom out a couple hours ago. So, I was like, Poppy, are you okay? What are you doing? It's like, I just need to unwind for a moment. And I was like, no, I totally get it. And I was like, I'm going to flop down next to you. And so we both lay down and he starts to laugh. He goes, can you believe that I had to say that to them about the mortarboard? And I said, no, Dad, it's totally, we started to laugh so hard, we laughed until we cried. It was the complete duality and both sides of life, but yet connecting it in this circle, okay, of the yin and the yang. And just how from the absurd to the most ridiculous, and from tears of grief to tears of laughter to tears of grief, cycles. And I feel as someone who hopes to master this matrix, this dream, just because I think it's fun as hell, I think that one of the things that you have to do is you have to laugh at both sides.
Yeah. And I don't think it's, think about how sometimes when you're in a state of grief, and then all of a sudden it will be so severe that you find yourself actually cracking through and breaking out in hysterical laughter, or vice versa, hysterical laughing, humor. And then the next thing you know, you crack through and you're actually breaking down from some sort of emotional thing that was really locked deep inside. So I think there is like that, it's like emotional fracting, which
Totally.
sometimes like that you're doing when you're in Gemini season. I guess there's a lot of that because it's like the fract is right in the middle where everything meets. And I guess it's okay to go there.
It really is.
Fract away in this case, like let your emotions like one and lock the other. That's where the healing is.
That's where the healing happens, because like just because you're sad doesn't mean you have to suffer.
Exactly. Totally. Yeah.
Like there's a lot to feel sad with the world. Like I get it. Like I'm not like a heartless person at all. However, it does not mean that you have to suffer. It means that you can actually still, are we having any fun? I mean, like you get to have the fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have to ask ourselves this question. Are we having any fun? That's about the heart.
Yeah. Sadness does not equal suffering. Neutrality does not equal numbness.
No.
It's good to understand the difference and feel those differences within inside ourselves, Fun. I mean, I almost even think fulfillment is another level, like an octave above fun. It's
That's what I say to that.
okay, mic drop. On that note,
Come on.
I got like 1 more minute.
Could
Anyway,
actually
so let's
ruin fun with fulfill. No, I get it though. No, that's deep, bro.
That's the artist talking though, because it's like sometimes you're making a piece of art and someone's like, "Are you having fun?" And it's like the most absurd question you could ever ask. This is not necessarily fun, but it's fulfilling. And like I realize that is a more enriching emotion or to experience is fulfillment is even superior to fun.
I don't agree.
This is the Cancer to the Capricorn. So we've got like
This is like one of our first like real impasses.
Yeah, but joy, because I equate joy with fulfillment more than I do fun. And like joy is even an octave above both of those, probably.
Oh, joy would definitely be an octave above fun.
Yeah.
The whole fulfillment thing, I understand. It's like, I'm kind of also going for the hands up on the roller coaster, like, woo, like having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I think is like a really important thing, because especially how unfun life can be, I think that it's best brought to neutrality with fun.
Why don't you wrap it out? I want to challenge you for the affirmations today.
Wow.
Because we're on our
affirmation.
Yeah, we're on our empowerment report. Bust it for me.
Maybe you should sing Pretty in Pink for us before I do this.
I was practicing it before when you called today, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Everybody heard that.
Wait, but this is an abbreviated episode, so.
All right. Here we go. Abbreviated episode. Are we having any fun? Okay. So affirmations. I am me. I am you. In the sacred, we both exist. In this now, we are sacred. Having fun can be sacred. There is such a thing as sacred fun. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Empowerment Unleashed Now. Please subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform and let us know how this helped you.
Join us right here every week for another episode.